Gautama Buddha and his disciples were constantly moving from village to village and from town to town. Wherever he went, he had at least 2,000 to 3,000 monks with him. Monks could only eat food obtained by begging. India is a culture where if a spiritual person comes to your door and asks for food, even if your own children have not eaten, you must first give it to him. When people were like this, every time he entered a town with 2,000 to 3,000 monks, suddenly there would be a pressure on the villagers. So he made a rule that they should never stay in any place for more than 3 days, so as to not burden the people. Only during the monsoons. It would be very difficult to travel by foot through the jungles, because the northern and eastern part of the Indian subcontinent receives heavy rains. Walking through the jungles would have been treacherous, and many would have lost their lives. Therefore, this was a time when they stayed in a larger town and spread across many homes. During the day, the monks went out for alms. Ananda, one of the monks, encountered a woman on the way. She was a beautiful courtesan. She gave him alms. She looked at Ananda, who was a tall and handsome young man, and she said,
I heard that monks are looking for shelter. Why don't you come and stay in my house?
Ananda said,
I must ask the Buddha as to where I should stay.
She realized that Ananda was not able to make a decision as she was a prostitute, and started taunting Ananda.
Oh, I see. You want to ask your guru. Okay, go and ask him. Let's see what he says.
Ananda went back to Gautama and put what he had collected at his feet. Everyone was supposed to find food and shelter wherever they go. So Ananda asked Gautama,
Guru, this lady is inviting me to her house. Can I stay there?
Gautama understood Ananda's dilemma and said,
If she is inviting you, you must go and stay there, Ananda.
Upon hearing that, the townspeople who were around started showing displeasure and were up in arms. They said, What? A monk is going to stay at a prostitute's home. This is it. Everyone started murmuring in disgust and protested. This spiritual process has become corrupt. Gautama looked at them and said,
Why are you all so worried? The lady is inviting him. Let him stay there. What is the problem?
People started to get up. He said,
Wait, I am on this path because I see that this is the most precious and powerful way to live. Now you are telling me that her ways are more powerful than mine. If that was the truth, I should also go and join her. As a true seeker, that is how it should be. If you find something much higher, you should go for that.
People were now in high resentment. And of course, many left in protest. Ananda went and stayed with her. The incessant rains changed the weather cold. Ananda was only wearing a thin robe. The prostitute saw Ananda shivering, and so she gave him a nice silk wrap for warmth. He thanked her and covered himself with it. When people saw this, they took it as evidence that he was going astray in company of a prostitute. Ananda had not eaten for days. She saw the hunger in his thin body and gave him warm food for him. He thanked her and ate the food. In the evening, she danced for him to keep him entertained. He sat watching with utmost attention. When people heard the music, they thought he had fallen. Time passed. The torrential rains had stopped and it was time to move on to the next village. Ananda came to Gautama with the prostitute. Everyone looked at her and was surprised. The prostitute now was a female monk. She had left behind everything she had and took on the path to seek the truth. Gautama looked at his disciples and people there, and said,
To everyone who doubted Ananda, this is the power of being on the path of truth. To everyone who dissed this woman as just a prostitute, she took the best care of her guest, without expecting anything in return. There is an innate longing in every single human being to find truth. It does not matter where they are or what they are doing today. Many of you are caught up in a place you never aspired to be. but your inner being will always aspire to go to whatever is the highest. When truth knocks, your inner being will open and respond, no matter where you are today. Remember my words. Judge nothing, you will be happy. Forgive everything, you will be happier. Love everything, you will be happiest.
Thank you for listening to this short story. May the universe be with you. Peace.